It's not as simple as it seems when looking at the newest 3.4 banners, and this is the best time to understand the whole situation. But first, a quick word from today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Eversoul. Now, this is a gacha game I'm really excited to talk about because it's brought to you by Kakao Games, the same people behind Guardian Tales and many other great titles. In Eversoul, you can collect these beautiful characters called souls and use them in strategic RPG battles. Each character comes with really high quality animations. Just look at some of these ultimates they're unleashing and tell me this doesn't look cool to you. But it's not just battling you'll be doing. The game offers a very unique fate system where you can build your relationship with souls, and some of the choices can lead you to different endings. So there's a lot of ways to get familiar with your favorite characters and unravel various secrets about them. There's even a cute town system you can manage and meet up with souls. The game also has an interesting story mode where you as the savior get summoned across the multiverse, and your job is to protect the world from a terrible disaster. Honestly, I can't even describe how hyped I am for this game. And the best part about it is that you can download it right now. It's already out. So use my link in the description and check out Eversoul because by doing this, you'll also help my channel big time. So make sure to download Eversoul now. There's a lot of hype surrounding Alhaitham, but I think it wouldn't hurt to first understand some of the good and crucial things about him. First of all, I've seen people saying that he's just a carbon copy of Keqing, which at first I would actually agree with that statement. But on further evaluation, it seems like there's a lot more going on with this guy. I mean, yeah, just like Keqing, his skill allows him to teleport, but unlike our Electro Queen, where you need to press the skill twice for the teleport to work, it only takes a single tap or hold for Alhaitham. But that's a minor difference. Now, while Keqing gains Electro Infusion after triggering her skill teleport, Alhaitham has to rely on his Chisel Light Mirrors to provide him with the Dendro Infusion. From the livestream video we saw, it looks like using his skill grants him 2 mirrors, but it also seems like his plunging and possibly charge attack also gives him 1 more mirror, putting him at what I assume is max of 3 mirrors. Now, how they work exactly for the infusion, it's not clear officially, but he will depend on them if he wants to utilize the infusion. However, the biggest thing about him has to be the supportive attacks his mirrors can cause. When he uses normal, charge, or plunging attack, the mirrors will unleash projection attacks. This is huge because assuming he uses a simple pattern like charge or normal attack spam while he has the mirrors, we're looking at a good spread reaction spamming that he can constantly sustain over a period of time. Now, what do I mean about sustained damage? Well, one crucial thing that was revealed about his burst is that yes, it kind of looks like Keqing's burst, but the amount of hits it deals depends on how many mirrors Alhaitham had before unleashing the burst. If he, let's say, has 3 mirrors, all of them get consumed for the burst and a lot more hits are unleashed. But get this, there's a fine print shown during the livestream where it mentions that after the burst, he will regenerate the mirrors. Thing is, we can clearly see if he unleashes the burst with 0 mirrors, he gains 3 mirrors back. But if he uses the burst with 3 mirrors, he doesn't gain any of them back. So imagine a scenario like this. You want to use Alhaitham as a quick swap character, you switch to him, you do his skill, then burst, and that's it. There's literally nothing else you can do with him unless he has super short cooldown on his skill or the passive talent that grants the extra mirrors. Otherwise, you have to switch out, and that's that. Now, a quickswap Dendro character isn't that bad, but the beauty of Dendro is that you're only winning more if you can maintain Dendro application for longer periods of time. So, what if we instead start rotation with Alhaitham unleashing the burst, which then grants him 3 Chisel Light Mirrors, and afterwards, we at some point use the skill if one of the mirrors expires, assuming that's how they work. Well, now we would have an on-field Alhaitham, and he actually becomes more similar to Nahida, and by that I mean he could be a Dendro driver for many different team comps. Hyperbloom and Burgeon are the first ones that come to mind. Having a lot of Dendro application here is great for a team like Double Hydro Hyperbloom or Toma Burgeon, and who knows, maybe he could even work well in Bountiful Bloom teams with Nilo. Point is, while Alhaitham's and Keqing's talents are very similar, the outcome is absolutely different if you choose to use Alhaitham on field instead of quickswap, which Aggravate Keqing has become known for. I mean, technically you can stay on the field with her and spam charge attacks after using skill and burst while the Electro Infusion lasts, but I digress. Ultimately, the biggest thing to care about any new Dendro unit is that they are, well, a Dendro unit. I don't see a lot of people talking about this, but Dendro is seriously one of the best elements in the game right now. So a character who can unleash a lot of Dendro application is best utilized with other elements to cause many Dendro reactions. I can easily see Hyperbloom Alhaitham working really well already, as long as the infusion he gains from mirrors lasts long enough, but at the same time, it's possible his quickswap build will also be pretty decent. Of course, at the end of the day, all of this is just pre-release analysis based on the info we got from the livestream, and things like damage multipliers and energy needs are still not revealed, but I'll have my Alhaitham video ready for you the moment the update is live. Now, let's talk about one character that might shake things up in the game. So any of the old Genshin veterans will tell you that YaoYao has been teased for a long time now. In fact, she first got revealed days after the game's launch on Genshin's Japanese Twitter account. So it's been more than 2 years of waiting. And what has this led us to? Well, we're finally getting a Dendro healer. Now, she is a 4-star character, which means Hoyoverse might pull a fast one and make her absurdly good at C6 and functioning at C0. I'm not pointing fingers here to anyone, but regardless, having a Dendro healer in the team is a pretty exciting thing. Now, her skill summons this extremely cute rabbit device, as the game calls it, and it will keep on throwing white jade radishes. And in the fine print, it says its targeting depends on surrounding combat situation, which I guess isn't something we should be concerned about, but from the video livestream, we can see it's throwing these radishes pretty fast. And you can even notice one of these radishes travels straight to character instead of the enemy, so both enemies and characters can be targeted by it. The cool thing about it is that the radish explosion is considered AoE, and the healing is based on elemental mastery, which is excellent, and it means if you fully build YaoYao with EM, if she, for example, by any chance triggers Bountiful Blooms in Nilo teams, those explosions will deal a lot of damage. Now, her burst is really interesting. She will enter into this Adeptal Legacy state, and if she runs, jumps, or dashes, a new rabbit gets summoned every second or so. You can have up to 3 of them, at least that's what I'm seeing in the video, and all of them will keep throwing out those radishes. Also, it was mentioned YaoYao will gain movement speed increase and Dendro resistance. I can already see if you're really hyper-focused on meta and efficiency, spending time just running around with YaoYao might not seem like a good idea if you're that kind of player. But on the other hand, maybe it's not so bad if you open up and refresh rotations by using her as the first character, so that you don't waste any buffs if you use her in the middle of a rotation. Honestly, I'm not expecting YaoYao to be a powerhouse damage dealer, and I'm more concerned with her Dendro application and healing. Teams like Nilo's Bountiful Blooms hurt a lot, and that's without any enemy attacks included, but if YaoYao can out-heal the self-damage, that would be a really good thing to have. Still, her most important utility has to be Dendro application, because we already have Dendro Traveler, who is a really good applicator. So if you go for YaoYao instead, healing won't matter if her Dendro application is not that great. But on the bright side, weakened teams are super easy to maintain, even with less consistent Dendro application. So teams like Aggravate Keqing would probably do well with YaoYao instead of Nahida, Kali, or Traveler, because now she's also bringing in some healing if you struggle surviving in the Abyss. Overall, I'm really excited to see YaoYao as a playable character, and what's even better is that Lantern Rite event will allow players to claim one free 4-star Liyue character, and YaoYao is one of them. So if you don't want to pull for her in the upcoming double banner, you can just get her for free. If we look past the hype of 2 new characters, all of the banners of this update are actually super stacked. Phase 1 will have Alhaitham and Xiao with YaoYao, while Phase 2 will be made up of Hu Tao and Yelan banners. I mean, it's kinda insane that Hoyoverse put 2 meta characters next to each other in Phase 2, but what's more crazy is the synergy they have between each other. A staggering amount of you watching my channel already have C6 Xingqiu, so pulling for Yelan opens up so many awesome meta teams, one of which can be built with Hu Tao, who is Yelan's neighbor banner. I've actually been using Funerational Team to quickly deal with weekly bosses, and it's always there to get me through the Abyss. It's just so insanely powerful. But you could also use Yelan and Xingqiu for the Hyperbloom teams, because like so many of the variations work extremely well with this duo, or heck, you could just put them in separate teams like National and Taser. So look at it this way, Hu Tao and Yelan have been fully solved, and anyone will pretty much tell you they are really strong picks for your account, while on the other hand, Alhaitham with YaoYao are new characters who belong to Dendro, which is a really powerful element, but nobody knows for sure how good they are. Of course, there's also Xiao in the corner lamenting, so there's a lot of characters to go for if you decide to spend your primos on this update. For now, I would say wait until the first phase characters get properly reviewed by me or any of the other content creators you like to watch, and then decide for yourself. But let's not forget Dia still hasn't been released, and she's going to be a pyro character, which to me is an extremely interesting element in the era of Dendro teams. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'd appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel and leave a like on the video, and you could really help my channel by clicking the link in the description or pinned comment from today's sponsor. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you soon.